Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Hit that like and subscribe button. I got some good news for Keith Thurman fans. He's negotiating a fight with Shawn Porter right now, so he should be coming back early 2019. But let's not act like we haven't been going through some shit the past year, because Keith Thurman's been faking injuries and lying to his fans about coming back to the ring and losing his hunger, getting married to mail-order bride, stuff like that. I mean, where do we start? Well, it's 2018 right now, right? I remember Keith Thurman was supposed to be coming back in January 2018. And then I remember Keith Thurman was supposed to be coming back in May 2018. And then May turned to June. And then Keith Thurman said he was going to come back in August. And then Keith Thurman said he was going to fight before the end of the year, 2018. But then we heard Keith Thurman got surgery on his elbow. Took a picture. He had some bruises and shit on his elbow. It wasn't real. It was all fake, all smoke and mirrors, all CGI. You know, Keith Thurman got all them good graphics and shit on his computer. So he was computing on his computer. Maybe threw a little Maybelline on his elbow. Sent us the photo via Instagram, and everybody went crazy. And then he was talking about he had a contusion in his hand. Contusion. That's a deep bruise if you didn't know what a contusion was. So he was faking injuries all over the place, lying. Then when he went to Kuala Lumpur, I don't know, take your pick on where in the fuck that is on your map. Maybe somewhere in Asia, I believe. So he got married to some chick. She bad. I ain't gonna front. But, you know, all you had to do was say, hey, man, I'm taking some time off. I want to get married and just relax. That's all you had to say, man. But instead, you just fucking disappear. Like, where's Keefy Poo at? Keefy Poo doesn't disappear. Like, the fuck? You know? You come back talking about you want to fight Pacquiao. Like, what's it gonna be, Keith? Why don't you just start telling the truth? All right? Now, the only reason why I believe this shit is because Shawn Porter said it, and not you, because you're a liar. You lie about everything. You said you had to vacate no, you said you relinquished the WBC championship. You motherfucking stripped your ass. Been holding that WBA belt too long. Why aren't you trying to fight Manny Pacquiao? He probably wouldn't fight you anyway, so it don't matter. But after a 1.5 year layoff, last fight was against Danny Garcia. Oh yeah, we give you props for fighting Danny Garcia and Shawn Porter back-to-back. That's cool. But what have you done lately? What have you done for a motherfucker lately? Not shit. Not shit. You know, I don't really think Keith Thurman should come back and fight Shawn Porter right away. I don't think that's a good move for him. Shawn Porter's been mad active. Coming off a win against Danny Garcia. Keith Thurman coming off a 1.5 year burger binge. Have you seen Keith Thurman lately? He's not in shape, man. So you're gonna spend this training camp getting back into shape. What's gonna fill you on the night of the fight? Elbow, hand, wrist, neck. Hey, yo, he said he has some, like, micro tears in his brain or some. Like, get out of here, Keith. Look, it's clear that Keith Thurman doesn't give a shit about boxing, and he doesn't give a shit about his fans. And that's a shame, too, because Keith Thurman was an exciting fighter once upon a time. You get what I did there? Because he used to get knockouts, but he don't anymore. I don't even remember who the last person he knocked out was, man. It's a shame. Keith Thurman had a lot of promise, man. He's 30 years old now, though, man. So, like, what you gonna do? You gotta, you ain't afraid to let that shit go. We'll see. But Shawn Porter's a tough fight for you without having a tune-up after a 1.5 years. So, the fight could potentially be pretty close. Tough fight for Keith Thurman coming up if he decides to take it. I am somewhat skeptical, but, you know, Keith Thurman has a track record of lying to us about injuries, disappearing, losing his hunger. But like I said, he's 30 years old. I'm not sure how much longer he's got left in the sport of boxing. You know, he used to be regarded as the top welterweight. But things have since changed. You got Terrence Crawford and you got Errol Spence. But are any of these guys going to fight each other? I really don't want to see a rematch between Keith Thurman and Shawn Porter. Do y'all? I really don't, to be honest. But, you know, Keith got to figure out a way to lose that belt anyway. That fake it. Shawn Porter, Keith Thurman negotiating for a fight early 2019. It's just, I remember the first time Keith Thurman was going to fight Shawn Porter, and he got into that car accident, this alleged car accident, and then Kenny Porter, he exposed Keith Thurman and said that there hadn't been any reportings of a car crash in that area in which Keith Thurman claimed he was injured in, right? And he had some like micro tears in his neck, excuse me, from what he was saying. And he just postponed the fight in hopes that Shawn Porter and his father would take another route or, you know, take another fight, and then Keith Thurman could fight a bum, right? Now, Keith Thurman fights Shawn Porter, and there was a lot of back and forth action in that fight. It was a close fight, but I had Keith Thurman winning. I predicted that Shawn Porter was going to beat him, but it was a close fight, man. But I gave it to Keith Thurman, bottom line. You know, Danny Garcia came into the mix. Of course, he was picking on Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is, well, back then he was the money man, right? Keith Thurman fought him. It was a unification bout. He had the WBA belt. Danny had the WBC belt. A lot of controversy before the fight with Angel Garcia, but Keith Thurman ended up winning that fight. Apparently he had sustained like an elbow injury or whatever, and, you know, he was running for most of the fight. And then that's when Keith Thurman disappeared. This is when Keith Thurman decided to take it upon himself to remove himself from boxing. You know, you don't have to be in the ring for motherfuckers to remember who the fuck you are. You got social media, bitch. You got all that. You got Twitter, Instagram, but you don't post but once every blue moon. Keith Thurman's a tragedy. Tragic character in the sport of boxing. He might just be cashing himself out against Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter could very well beat this dude. But I have a feeling that Keith Thurman is going to use a lot of movement in this fight and try to stay away from Shawn Porter. He's not going to fight him like he fought him in the first fight. That's too risky, especially coming off of an injury, quote unquote. Y'all know Keith Thurman ain't had no motherfucking injuries. He's supposed to have a elbow injury. He over in another country sparring on the street. He throwing out the first pitch of the, what was that? I don't even remember what baseball game that was. The Dodgers or some shit. He throwing out the first pitch of the game. What a fraud, man. It's sad what happened to Keith Thurman. But hey, if y'all still want to believe in Keith Thurman, go right ahead. Go right ahead. But this fight might favor Shawn Porter just because he's been more active, and Keith Thurman hasn't been active at all. So I'm not going to get into my story with Keith Thurman. Y'all heard it 100 times, 1,000 times. But, you know, Keith Thurman beat... This shit be getting old as shit, man. Shawn Porter's teeth big as hell, man. His teeth big as shit. He can't even close his mouth. Danny Garcia wear fucking Echo. Terrence Crawford just a fucking gangbanger. Errol Spence be acting like he's scared as fuck at everybody. Welterweight division ain't shit. Manny Pacquiao coming back for a payday. This motherfucker got CTE, got brain damage. Killing his own people in his own country. Floyd Mayweather can't fucking read. Who else, man? Who else we missing at 147? All these dudes are some jokes, man. Who else at 147 that matters? That's about it, really. Hitman Boxing. Let me know what you guys think about Keith Thurman returning to the ring and, you know, facing Shawn Porter for a second time. It's kind of dumb. I think it's stupid. But hey, if you're a Keith Thurman fan, just like somebody else wrote on my wall, fucking using like 48 emojis to get his point across, nobody gives a fuck what you think. Honestly. Oh, Keith Thurman, he really sustained an injury. I was there and, you know, I watched it. Like, get the fuck out of here, Joe. Hitman Boxing, drop a comment, like the video, subscribe, hashtag ASBC. What else is going on in boxing, man? I got to give y'all a couple more videos. I'm out.